So it's apparently just easier to be connected with someone and possibly also to be motivated to be connected with someone in the beginnings of relationships. I'm Heather Grzych, and this is the Wisdom of the Body podcast. This podcast explores the idea of body intelligence as the real key to learning the knowledge of life, or what we call Ayurveda in the ancient language of Sanskrit. We do that by connecting with today's creative leaders and experts who will help you listen to your body, trust your gut, and live in deeper harmony with nature. Come join me as we unlock the golden door to clear, direct perception and become very deep listeners. You can find the Wisdom of the Body podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Stitcher. You can also follow us by joining my email at heathergrzych.com or on Instagram at heathergrzych. I know you're going to love this podcast, so take a second right now to subscribe. Welcome to the Wisdom of the Body. I'm your host, Heather Grzych, and I'm here to shed some light on a fascinating topic today, the myth of love at first sight. In today's episode, we'll explore why it happens for some, but not others, and uncover what might actually be more important than love at first sight. So, let's begin. Love at first sight. It's a concept that has captivated humankind for centuries. We've seen it in movies, heard about it in stories, and maybe even witnessed it unfold in real life. But what is it exactly? Well, love at first sight refers to the strong, instantaneous attraction and emotional connection people claim to experience upon meeting someone for the very first time. It seems like a fairy tale come true, doesn't it? While love at first sight has a certain allure, it's important to consider that it happens for some people, but not for others. Why? Are some individuals just luckier in matters in the heart? The answer lies in the complex nature of human experiences and the diverse ways we perceive and interpret them. It's so important to understand that love at first sight is often driven by initial physical attraction. Our brains are wired to seek out certain defining characteristics, such as symmetry and markers of health, and these can trigger an instant attraction response. In terms of the chakra system, intense physical attraction can be linked to the lower chakra areas, such as the sacral chakra and the heart chakra in the center of the chest. So the sacral chakra is associated with sensuality and pleasure, emotions, and desire. It governs our ability to experience and express our sexuality, as well as physical desires and attractions. When you have this chakra balanced, it can enhance your ability to connect with others on a deeper level. This chakra can be depleted or it can be too stimulated. And sometimes it can be stimulated even at the wrong times. So the other chakra involved here is the heart chakra. It's the center of your love, your compassion, and your emotional connections. Really where your attachments lie. When we feel intense physical attraction, it can often be accompanied by strong emotions and a desire for intimacy. This is also where we feel empathy, where we really understand someone. The heart chakra plays a significant role in forming these strong emotional bonds and connecting on a deeper level with others. It basically helps us get attached. So it's important to note that while these chakras can influence physical attraction is actually very complex. It's an interplay of so many factors, including your biological factors, psychological factors, and even societal influences. We have the rest of our minds, bodies, and histories influencing how and why we are attracted to people. So people may have a certain quality to them that you desire, such as a tremendous courage or a strong body. Some people might even find themselves attracted to the way someone's clothes look on them and what those clothes represent to that person. And these qualities make us feel enlivened. They may feel enlivening or they may feel attractive to us in ways even beyond sexual attraction. But in essence, they stimulate a type of physical attraction nonetheless, because when you're in the presence of someone with these qualities, you feel more alive, excited, or even calmer. some feeling that feels good to you, because some people want to feel calmer. Some people want to feel more alive. We all have, our own imbalances going on within us. So it's these feelings that feed the physical attraction. But physical chemistry alone does not necessarily lead to long-term compatibility or even love. So I decided to interview a group of people on love at first sight, and I published 2 of these interviews in episode 122 and 124. One was a person who claimed to be a demisexual, or someone who doesn't feel sexual attraction without first experiencing an emotional connection. This was a new term for me too, but it didn't sound that weird because I know a lot of people, and I've experienced it myself, where I was not attracted to somebody until I had an emotional connection with them, until I got to know them better. And the second interview that I published was with someone in a modern version of an arranged marriage. Many people wonder how it's possible for people to experience attraction for someone in an arranged marriage because they overvalue this initial physical chemistry piece. But time and time again, people show that physical chemistry can be cultivated. I focused mainly on interviewing men, mainly because that's actually who volunteered to be interviewed when I put the call out. And some of those that I interviewed who were single described love at first sight as that initial attraction, but they didn't have much to say about what happens in time because, well, a lot of them didn't have much experience with long-term relationships. So these were all individuals in their 30s. Now, on the other hand, when speaking with people who are in long-term relationships, say greater than 2 years, everyone talks about the importance of cultivating connection, and the relationships, sort of the nature of them, ebb and flow depending on what else is going on in a person's life. Psychologists have this term to describe the more intense feeling that people get in the first, say, year plus of the relationship. It's called limerence. Limerence is an intense infatuation or obsession with someone. It's often characterized by intrusive thoughts, fantasies, and a strong desire for reciprocation of feelings. People experiencing limerence may idealize the object of their affection, go to great lengths to gain their attention and approval, and experience extreme emotional highs and lows based on their perceived interactions with that person. Limerence is often described as a state of being in love, or maybe even having a crush, but it can be more intense and all-consuming than a typical romantic attraction. So it's apparently just easier to be connected with someone, and possibly also to be motivated to be connected with someone in the beginnings of relationships. However, true love and deep connections are built on way more substantial foundations, such as shared values, mutual respect, and emotional intimacy. These aspects cannot be fully explored or experienced in just, say, a brief encounter with someone. So should we just discard love at first sight as a mere illusion? Well, not entirely. Love at first sight can serve as a catalyst for starting relationships, maybe sparking curiosity and motivation to actually explore that relationship further. It can create maybe even an initial fascination and intrigue, and leading to the possibility of something meaningful. And frankly, if you can't get a spark going, then it's something to consider. After all, if you're choosing a partner because you're looking specifically for a romantic relationship, then you'll want to feel something. Even though, there are herbs that can get things going, and I've seen some Ayurvedic herbs work that I've used with my clients. The way we naturally connect with someone is very important for a sustainable connection. When people feel they lack in sexual connection, they will often seek other partners, and that presents a lot of issues for relationship building. It's very important to acknowledge that love at first sight is not a reliable indicator of a successful relationship. It doesn't have to be there. More often than not, it's the product of infatuation or idealization, maybe even a projection of our own desires onto another person. And this is why some people may experience love at first sight, while others approach relationships more cautiously and take the time to develop a deeper connection. But when it comes to lasting love, what matters more than love at first sight is our ability to nurture and grow our relationships. Communication, trust, emotional support, and shared values become the pillars of a strong and enduring bond. These elements empower us to weather the ups and downs of life together, forming a connection that's built on mutual understanding and respect. After that initial honeymoon phase, the limerence phase, after that ends, it's natural for relationships to transition into a deeper and more stable phase. During this time, it's important to cultivate attraction and maintain a spark between romantic partners. And attraction is a big problem in the United States, which is where I live. We're estimated to have the highest rates of erectile dysfunction in the world. And it makes me wonder, do people just need a little bit more love, or is something else going on in our minds, bodies, and spirits that prevents us from sustained attraction and arousal? I love to explore different Ayurvedic herbs for this with my clients, but here are some behavioral suggestions that can cultivate the ability to feel physical attraction as well. The first is open communication. Talking openly and honestly with your partner about your desires, your needs, and expectations is so important. This kind of communication helps you understand each other better and keeps a relationship strong. We all have heard how important vulnerability is for connecting with people. Well, you've got to do it. Without it, it doesn't help you get closer together. The second thing that I find is helpful is spending quality time together. Some people are so busy, they just don't even have time to have a meaningful relationship with someone and connect with them. Or they're so stressed out because they're so busy that they just can't even unwind in a way that would actually allow them to feel connected to someone. So make an effort to spend quality time with your partner. You could plan date nights or weekends away, or simply engage in activities that you both enjoy. What this does is it helps create shared experiences and it builds a deeper emotional connection. And it's even better if you do something that you're both really excited about or passionate about. Another way to cultivate the ability to feel physical attraction naturally without medication is to show appreciation. Express your appreciation and gratitude for your partner regularly. Recognize their efforts, praise their achievements, and remind them why you chose them. Genuine compliments and being kind to someone, these kinds of things go a long way in preserving your attraction, someone's attraction to you and your attraction to them. Another thing you can do is to nurture your physical intimacy. Physical touch and intimacy, keep your romance alive by initiating affectionate gestures, surprising each other with kisses or cuddling, and even initiating sex. Remember to communicate about your desires and listen to your partner's needs. Another thing that's important for cultivating physical attraction is prioritizing self-care. You got to take care of yourself because this helps you maintain your individuality and your confidence within the relationship. If you engage in activities that make you feel good, whether it's exercising or pursuing your hobbies, creative projects, or spending time with your friends, when you prioritize your self-care, eating healthy, taking great care of yourself the way that you do, you'll bring positive energy to the relationship. And that's super sexy. Another thing that's really helpful is surprise and spontaneity. One of the reasons that relationships sort of get like a deadening feel as they go along is that everything sort of feels the same after a while. And we kind of go to sleep when things feel the same after a while. We get used to things. There's no excitement. So you have to inject surprises and spontaneity into your relationship. You can plan things that are unexpected or outings that are unexpected. It could be something like a special meal or leaving love notes or planning even a spontaneous adventure together. These little things help keep the relationship exciting and help spark attraction. Many people end up having affairs simply because the rush from the newness of them creates a kind of sparkage. It makes us feel alive. If we can create that spark in some other way, then maybe we can create some more stability in our relationship. And continual growth. Each person in a relationship has to continue to grow by setting and pursuing their individual goals, and also the couple can pursue shared goals together. You can support and motivate your partner, and they can support and motivate you to explore new interests and try new experiences. And this helps keep your own individual spark going, because if your own individual spark is going, you're more likely to experience spark with another person and maintain that long-term attraction. The last thing I would recommend is just sort of a no medication needed type of approach to cultivating physical attraction with people is maintaining your emotional connection, cultivating your emotional intimacy, and do this by actively listening to your partner. Do this by actively empathizing with their feelings, finding ways to relate and being emotionally available. Show actually genuine interest in their thoughts, their dreams, and their challenges. It helps keep the bond strong and sustain attraction. So not only do you have to be an open communicator yourself and say how you feel, you also have to be really, really, really willing to deeply listen to your partner, actively listening. Remember, maintaining attraction is just this continuous effort that requires both partners to be involved. It is totally normal for attraction to ebb and flow in a relationship. Totally normal thing. But by implementing these strategies, you can keep the spark alive and deepen your bond with your partner. And there's always Ayurvedic herbs that will help. In our quest for love, it's essential to embrace patience and give ourselves and others the time needed to truly get to know one another. Remember, love is a journey, not a fleeting moment. True and lasting love is found by investing in relationships and embracing the growth that occurs in these relationships over time. And there you have it, a deeper look into the myth of love at first sight. While it may happen for some individuals, it's crucial to recognize that it isn't the foundation upon which long-lasting connections are built. What matters more are the qualities and efforts that sustain relationships over time. Thank you so much for listening to The Wisdom of the Body. If you enjoyed this solo cast or have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, please reach out. Remember, love is a multifaceted journey. So let's continue exploring its wonders together. Until next time. If you are embarking on a fertility journey and are ready to have your mind blown about what your body is really capable of and how it's impacted by the environment, then check out my book, The Ayurvedic Guide to Fertility. You can actually download the introduction to the book for free on my website at heathergrzych.com. That's Heather, GRZYCH.com. Read the intro for free and then buy the rest of this fertility enlightening book pretty much anywhere books are sold. You know, I get so excited. I get this kind of goosebump feeling when I get a booking from a new client that I haven't met yet. And I get so excited because I know that somebody has made a decision to go really, really, really deep into their healing. Because I know that Ayurveda is not a quote unquote normal thing that many people have access to, at least not in the United States where I live. So I know that when someone books with me, that they've really made a decision that they want to go deep into their healing. And so you could do that on my website at heathergrzych.com. That's Heather, GRZYCH.com. You can book me for either a Ayurvedic consultation if you're ready to dive in, or you can also book me for a 15-minute connection call if you're not sure where to go yet. I do have a couple offerings that are not on my website, and we could talk about that. So I look forward to meeting you. Thank you for tuning in and dropping in with us today. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I really want to hear your feedback. To learn more about my work, visit heathergrzych.com. That's Heather, GRZYCH.com. And meet me here next time on The Wisdom of the Body.